Hi guys, Artiar here. So Etheria just updated the new upcoming LD unit, which is going to be Raymary, and then we're going to take a look at the kit. So I know that they posted about the kit, right? Overall, the kit looks like very good in no matter what kind of player you are. No matter you are turn 2 or turn 1, it looks good for both kind of player. But now we're going to take a look at the multiplier and how the kit actually works, right? So this is the Raymary model, and then this is the weapon itself. Overall, it's good. Okay, it's good. And then I want to take a look at the prowlers first. Is there anything special? Crit damage and crit rate, so it's actually very DPS, right? Okay, speed wise is actually pretty low because 118, so she can't be a speed contest unit to actually make it like a speed DPS, right? But doesn't matter because you're gonna make her with high HP. So we can take a look here. S1 deals damage 30% of her own HP to a single enemy with a 30% chance to inflict stun for 1 turn, then grants herself 10 stack of torment. If the target HP percentage is below than 15% after the attack, then the target is instantly terminated, which is executed, and enemies defeated by this skill cannot be triggered death prevention effect and cannot revive in battle. So this death prevention effect can only apply on S1, right? Because it's only mentioning after the attack, which is this attack, and it's not like your S2 or S3. But then if you are able to do damage and then the enemy HP lower than 15% of the attack, instantly kill. But what I'm curious is like, can this effect can actually just one shot away the Ember? Because on paper it shouldn't affect, because this one is instantly kill the target and cannot revive. And for Ember Shell, right, on paper it shouldn't able to Raymary should not be able to counter Ember, because Ember is when the main enemy is about to die, right? It avoids him to die and then reduce the Terminator, all this thing, and then go into the ice state. So Ember is preventing that owner to die. So on paper, Raymary will not counter Ember. Okay, but we have to look at take a look at the interaction in game when it actually released. But for now, on paper, it shouldn't able to counter Ember, but it will counter Sanya because of the revive mechanic. So it might able to counter Sanya if you're able to trigger the effect. It's kind of like Hoyen in terms of like the non-revive mechanic. And then grades a 10 stack of Torment. Okay, Torment is if you reach to 100 stack, immediately trigger the Grave Watch, which is your S3. It's your Grave Watch, and then Grave Watch deals 30% increased damage. All stack are removed. Okay, so if you trigger your S3, which is the Grave Watch damage through the tournament, then it will do 30% additional damage. Or else it will just do the original damage, right? It directly defeats the target, ignores invincibility, soul ward, and death prevent. Wait. It will counter Ember, directly defeats the enemy, ignoring invincibility, soul ward, and death prevention effect. Ineffective against boss unit. Wait, I did not notice this thing. So Veronica will get countered by soul ward, and then you ignore death prevention effect. So probably this can actually counter Hoyen and also Ember. Right, because it can, if you can ignore death prevention effect, then Ember will not able to death prevention it, because Ember here is avoid you to die. Probably Raymary is actually able to counter Ember as well, also able to counter Sanya from reviving, and probably also able to counter Veronica, because one of the things about Veronica very annoying is about the soul ward, right? So able to counter this, and also probably Hoyen as well. One of the things about Hoyen is the passive prevents herself from dying. She avoids the death, right, and then applies soul ward. So I think Raymary might actually ignore Ember's mechanic, and then just able to kill Hoyen, able to kill Sanya, all this kind of effect. I did not notice this terminate buff. This is actually super OP. You can ignore invincibility, soul ward, and death prevention. Alright. Then for passive, for every 1500 damage on any unit, okay, you have to keep note, this is any unit. So it can be your unit or enemy unit, as long as there's 1500 damage proc, then you are able to trigger 1 stack. But the thing is, you need 100 stack to trigger the torment effect, so you need 150k 150k damage in total to trigger her skill instantly. Okay, Raymary grants 1 stack. Any unit die that immediately get... Wait, okay, so Raymary will immediately get maximum stack instantly to 100 stack if someone actually dies. Then this one here is actually very good for Cleaver, because Cleaver usually their key point is try to kill the enemy as fast as possible. So the moment you actually kill one unit, you kill any one unit, including your own unit as well. So if, let's say you're using Heinrich, right? You use Heinrich like trigger S3. You trigger a lot of Bramble set from the enemy. Like let's say they trigger like Tiamat, they trigger like Rahu, they trigger the Bramble, counter attack you, and then your Heinrich might actually just one shot and die, right? Then when you have unit die, then you instantly get max stack and instantly cast S3. So it's also a very good pick for Cleaver to actually use this unit to counter back the enemy Bruiser, or Bruiser can actually use this unit as well because it's HP percentage skill, right? You can actually build her with Bruiser. But on paper, I really like her as well, even though I'm a CC Cleave player, because it depends on any unit. No matter I take damage or enemy take damage, she will get stacked. If any unit dies, then she instantly casts instantly get max stack and can cast S3. This is actually very good. And then S3 is 44% of her own max HP to enemy. This is actually very high. And then 100% chance to apply vulnerable. Wait, 100% chance. This makes my other Cleaver DPS even more higher damage as well. But because it's vulnerable, damage taken increased by 30% will also benefit if you're a Bruiser player to actually make a Tiamat or Rahu actually does more damage as well, right? So on paper, she can actually fit into turn 2 player or turn 1 player playstyle. On crit, have 100% chance to steal 15% turn meter from the target. So this is an AoE damage, right? You're doing AoE damage, and then you are able to apply AoE vulnerable, and then most probably you're going to build her 100% crit rate. And because she is a constant unit, so as long as you build her 100% crit rate, she will crit. Okay, then after you crit, you steal away the turn meter push. So you can actually steal 15% from each target and then gather to her, then she can probably just take her turn instantly. She's just so broken for both kind of playstyle. I'm like when I see her, like, oh, she's the another Tiamat. But then when I see at the passive here, any unit can any unit's DPS or any unit die will benefit. Then turn 1 player can actually use her as well, making her as a max HP kind DPS for the turn 1 player, or turn 1 player can actually use her just to steal the turn meter push from the enemy, or help us apply the vulnerable, or as a follow-up damage to kill someone. So let's say I use like Tiamat to push a Messiah or Yeli, and I do damage. If I actually kill someone, let's say I use Yeli to kill someone, and then one unit die, cause any unit, right? Then I instantly get maximum stack, then I instantly cast S3 doing my another AoE damage from Raymary. So if my Yeli can't kill them, but my Yeli still apply defense down to them, right? Then my Raymary follow up with AoE damage, do damage to them, and then also able to steal turn meter, which means also turn meter down the enemy. So all my team here gonna be a safer position for my team to actually do more DPS. And then probably from the turn meter stealing, my Raymary is gonna take the action, so I can cast the S3 automatically by myself, right, through manual. So it's actually a very good unit, no matter you are turn 1 or turn 2, because at first I thought it's gonna be a turn 2 unit, but because of the max HP, I thought it's a turn 2 unit, right? But on the paper, it looks very good for turn 1 player as well, because you're gonna do the damage first, you're gonna take the turn first, and even though your unit get killed by Bramble, it's also gonna benefit you, because any unit die, including your teammate die, then you're instantly able to cast S3. This is a very good unit. I'm definitely want to get her, and if possible, I want to get some Prolus as well, since she have a Prolus event, and the crit damage here and the crit rate actually plays in a very important role as well. So I'm definitely getting for her. Okay, then the other one is the SR unit. It's going to be this one, right? The blue, it's kind of like the blue Sania in a way, but not exactly like Sania, because Sania can increase max HP cap and then also revive. But for Sleep here is actually a very good unit for Bruiser, as another healer and also a defense up buffer. Because S1 here, you do damage and then it heals the ally with the lowest HP percentage, and then a heal amount of 20% of the target's max HP. This is actually very high, and the current HP percentage is below than 70%. Okay, then you instantly get a defense up. So this is actually a very good thing, especially like player who plays with Rahu, because you get heal, you get defense up at the same time, and then overheal gives you a shield, makes your Bruiser even more tankier, because all the overheal will turn into shield for that target. So it's gonna be very tanky. Then for single heal is your S2, right? Purify all debuff from a target, only one target getting all debuff getting purified, and then heals the target 50% of their max HP. This is also very OP. If you build her like, let's say with like what's that called? Alicorn, then you ensure her able to take a turn. So let's say I play CC. I CC the enemy, and enemy using this unit, using with Alicorn, make her able to take a turn. Then she use this S2 apply to one of the main DPS, let's say like Tiamat or Rahu, cleanse away all the debuff, and then heals them. And then they can, their DPS, their bruiser DPS can take the turn very safely. So this is actually very annoying because it's all debuff. You purify every single thing on the enemy, or on your teammate. And this is an SR unit, so you're actually able to scale up very easily for the bruiser. Then for the S3 here, deals 2 hit of 150%, and then every attack here purifies 1 debuff from all allies. So you're gonna do 2 hit. So probably you're gonna do AoE 2 debuff cleanse from all your ally, then heal everyone, and then applies defend up. I think this is actually okay, like AoE heal, AoE cleanse, and then apply defend up is also very OP, but I think the most OP one is actually the S2 because it purifies all debuff. We actually just turn away the table, especially for the CC player. Because if you can't CC her or she takes a turn, she just apply this, and then their bruiser is definitely taking the turn because they cleanse every single debuff. It's not about RNG like using Sania or using Linglo. RNG cleansing is about purify all the debuff. This is actually very crazy. Hailing done and effect resistant. Yeah, it's gonna be a very good unit for bruiser. This is not a unit for the turn 1 player. Brings no value for the turn 1 player, but for the bruiser player. Like even the avatar looks like Sania. If you take a look, like the face shape, the hair, right, is actually very Sania. It's like basically the blue version of Sania. Personally for me, I really like Raymary in terms of design and also in terms of skill. But feel free to comment down what you guys think about her kit. For me, as a turn 1 player, I'm actually very hyped for her because it looks very good, and then it looks very good for the turn 1 player as well. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment down what you guys think about her, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.